Hello. Not sure if this is working. I hope, hope it is. Let's have a look on the chat here. Hey, Chickster. How you doing, man? All right? Let me know if you can hear me okay, if this is too low, if the music's too loud or whatever. And I'll fix. I'm trying some new things today, so this could be messy. Let's have a look. Hey John, how you doing? Thanks for joining. I'm gonna try a few new things here today, so bear with me whilst I figure things out. I'm using OBS now, which is supposed to be quite good, but it's so daunting to go through the settings here, but we'll see. I've got a delay on my voice. Okay, there's an echo. All right, mute. Hi. 1 sec. What could that be? Could be this. Okay. Is the echo still happening? It might be OBS. Let me see if I can turn things off here. Desktop audio. How about now? Is the echo gone now? Any difference? Everybody just testing the audio to make sure. Is the echo still going, or is it gone now? Once I get the audio figured out, we'll keep going. Echo, no delay. Yes, still echo. Bear with me. So I'll mute that guy. Oh yeah. Oh right. Of course. What about now? Hopefully this improved things. Let me know if the echo's gone now. Oh, the echo's gone. Yay, thank you. Right. So we can start now. This is going to be a bit of a journey for us. There's lots to talk about, lots to chill, but you know, it's mainly a relaxed session. First of all, let me know where you're coming in from. I'm not using the usual StreamYard, and I wanted to try something new. Hopefully the quality is okay now. But yeah, let me know where you're coming from. I'll see if I can highlight comments. Is going to be a challenge today, but I'll just read them as I go. Yes, if I pop out the chat. Oh yeah, I can put the chat in here. There you go. I will show you what I'm doing. I'm using this new bit of tech. See this thing here? It's like a new teleprompter. I just got from Elgato, and it's supposed to be great for streaming. But I'm such a noob still, and still learning. So let's see who we got. Juan Gabriel from Brazil. Hello. What else? Who else have we got here? If I go to live chat instead, here you go. New York City. Willie from Greece. Thank you. Hamad from Boston. Hello. Hey. Said Dan from France. I think the flag is from France. Let's see. Yes. And you want to swap your 15 Pro Max for the S23 Ultra. Okay, let's talk about that in a bit. Francisco Cruz from Portugal. Hello. Olá, tudo bem? I'm not going to try and say this one, but okay, I'll try. Malone Moulton, I think. Malone Matten, I think. Dundee, Florida. Minnesota. Hi, Suzanne. Andrew Walker. Hello. France is in the place. Yeah, let's go. Thanks for joining. This is a chilled tech chat. There's so much going on, right? And it's that time of the year where it's so busy. So I thought it'd be nice to kind of do something like this where there's no script. It's just having a chat and talk about, you know, the plans for the channel, what's going on in the world of tech. There's a lot. Obviously, this week we had a few things from Apple, but there's quite a lot going on. I've got so many smartphone reviews that have been happening. So it's nice to take a break and just connect with you as well, because I think that's important for the channel. Let me know if the audio is loud enough, because I don't speak too loudly, but I'm a quiet speaker, so I don't want it to be too low. I can turn it up a little bit if it needs to be. Ed from Nigeria, hello. Robert Bitter from San Luis, Missouri. San Luis, Missouri. Hey, tech for your needs. Thanks for joining. Hello. Let's read this one. Hey bro, I just bought a 15 Pro Max for the purpose of using it primarily as a podcast camera. I tell you what, and you're from Australia. Yeah, I was just talking to a friend from one of our group chats that we've got in the content creation space, in the tech space. And yeah, he was comparing a camera with the 15 Pro. So similar camera to the Pro Max, really. Honestly, it's so good. These cameras these days, not just the iPhone, but the iPhone particularly for video is getting almost as good as, this is a professional camera I'm using here. But yeah, definitely for podcasts it would be perfect. Hey Michael Tech Talk, you're from the UK, I'm guessing, right? We're just doing a bit of a roll call. I had some audio issues. Hopefully that's sorted out now. Oh yes, sorry, I forgot to change the angle. Sorry. There you go, that's a better angle. Thanks Adam for picking that up. T1 versus LNG support for T1. I'm not sure what that means at all. but let me know, A7TG, what you meant by that. Yeah, those group chats, Michael. Ping me a DM on Twitter and I'll get you added to one of those groups. I think it's important, right, as a creator to have that, because yeah, it can be quite lonely creating content, right? So yeah, no, I'll definitely add you to one of those groups. I don't manage them, but it's something I know someone who knows someone. Let's put it that way. So yeah, as I was saying, right, it's one of those things that at the beginning of the year, I have all these, grand plans for the channel. And one of the things I did say at the beginning as a thing I wanted to do was more live streams, because, growing the channel is great. I could never dream when I started this channel to under 3 years, or just over 3 years actually, to get to almost 100,000 subscribers. But growing the channel, and for me, is different than growing a community, right? And I think to grow a community really is to connect via these live streams, and we can chat without a script, so kind of a raw conversation really. Yeah, so hopefully you appreciate that, and I think it's good. I get to know you, and you get to know a bit more about me, what's going on behind the scenes as well. But yeah, no, I think it's also, just like I said in the title, right, it's a chilled chat. I love talking about chat, and yeah, it'd be good to kind of share with you what I'm thinking. Obviously, we talk about the Apple releases that we had this year. Some more people joining here. Hello, Mike from Brazil. Hey. Digital Slang. Hey, how you doing, man? You all right? Thanks for coming in. Hey, Joseph. Hello. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so if you, there's a few creators here. So Jeff from Digital Slang is a great channel for you to. He does a lot of reviews about everything, but there's a lot of audio related stuff. Yeah, no, make sure you follow him. And Michael's Tech Talk as well. Great channel as well here in the UK. Hey, let's have a look. Can you tell me how to get less saturated photos, please? It's a tricky one, right? Because a lot of the phones now, especially because traditionally the Samsung phones used to be really saturated. I think even up to the S22 Ultra, the default picture was so saturated. Right now, I'm seeing that with the Fold 5. I actually like that look for some situations, like quick, point and shoot photos. So they are very colorful. The blues are very vivid. The greens are like, come on, Samsung. I know the grass is green, right? But not that green. I actually mentioned that in my recent videos. So, but I think to take less saturated photos, you're gonna have to tune. The iPhone, there's some settings you can go to cool. So choose cool as one of the default profiles. That should kind of tune it down a little bit. On other phones, I'm not sure. I think the best way to do it is to take it in RAW format and then edit it in Lightroom. And in Lightroom, you can dial in your color as you want. Yeah, RAW format is the way to go really for colors. But for point and shoot, I know the iPhone has some default profiles. I'm not sure about the others. Adam saying he's upgrading to the Pixel 7 Pro. Okay, yeah. You love the Z Fold 5, but would you say go for the Pixel 8 Pro or the Z Fold 5? Okay. Multitasking entertainment. So the Pixel 8 Pro can do those things, but I think it can't really. It's almost like they're two different things, right? It's quite hard to compare those two, but I'd say for the best entertainment and for the best multitasking, you're gonna enjoy having the S Pen as well. I've got the Fold 5 is always with me now. I mean, it's one of those. It's quite quiet now, so I'm going back to what I like. But I've been trying all of these, right? I've been trying to the Pixel 8 Pro recently, the iPhone 15 Pro Max. But yeah, the Fold is one of those things. It's not for everyone because it's got that very narrow form factor. I love it. I can't recommend it enough. So I'm gonna be a little bit biased and say the Fold 5 is the best for what you want to do there. But yeah, you can do those things with the Pixel as well. And the Pixel has been a revelation for me. I wasn't expecting much. We can talk about it in a bit. But yeah, it's been quite a pleasant surprise. Let me know in the chat here if you want to know anything about the Pixel, because I'm still discovering things and I'm finding some really surprising things. I had the Pixel 7 Pro and I had the Pixel 6 Pro as well before that. So yeah, it's been a revelation in quite a few areas. Let's speak up. Okay, so we've got Ernest Potter. I'm late. Don't know if I was asking an upgrade from 14 Pro Max, from 14 Pro to the S23 Ultra. That's exactly what I did actually. So Ernest, I'm sorry I can't seem to find a way of. I can pin the chat. Can I? Let me just try this. I don't know. It's just gonna be. Oh yeah, I can pin the message for a bit. Okay, let's do it this way. Yeah, because I think it's because I'm not using a software to do this for me. It's quite hard, and I'm still learning OBS. So just bear with me. Where was that chat gone? Here we go. Ernest, pin message. So Ernest is asking, is it an upgrade from the 14 Pro to the S23 Ultra? I would absolutely recommend that because it's something that I've done myself. I had a terrible time with. I think it was mostly software, to be fair to the iPhone. I mean, the iPhone 14 Pro Max, hardware-wise, right? It's really difficult to argue. It's an amazing device, but I had some issues with iOS 16 in particular. So I think, it's probably like for like in terms of what you're gonna get out of it. I get a lot more out of my S23 Ultra because I do use the S Pen. I do use the multitasking stuff. And I do enjoy just how good it is. I had a terrible time with the predecessor, the S22 Ultra, but the S23 Ultra for me was a great upgrade from the 14 Pro. And I think it was mostly felt because two things. I've been using iPhones since the very first one. So it was kind of I was bored with iOS anyway. So when I started to see some bugs on iOS, I was like, okay, do you know what? I actually, for the first time, didn't have an iPhone. Sometimes content creators will say that they switched. Some of the creators are here in the chat. They'll probably agree with me, but or probably hate me because I'm sharing the secrets of the trade. But we say we switched to a phone or we switched to another, but at the end of the day, we still have multiple devices, right? And there's always that comfort blanket. The iPhone has been that for me in the last few years. But for the first time this year or earlier this year, I didn't have an iPhone. I literally got rid of all of it. Initially, I tried to get my Apple Watch to keep going. I tried the iPhone 13 mini, which was nice as well to try the mini. I never tried it before, but yeah, definitely recommend that upgrade if you're considering it. Max Smith, Alex, honest opinion, iPhone 15 Pro Max or the new OnePlus Open? See, that OnePlus Open is something that I'm gonna get it. It's just one of those things that I've been so busy with other stuff. I'm hearing so many good things, and lots of people in my comments as well saying, can you please, you know, compare that with the Fold, compare that with others. So I can't give you a definite, you know, opinion on that because I haven't actually got the OnePlus open, but it looks amazing, right? Especially the display in the middle, the Fold, you know, it doesn't matter what people say, right? It can't go away, can't hide the fact that there's this crease, and the crease is definitely visible. I'm okay with it because, you know, I get a lot out of it, but yeah, that OnePlus looks amazing, and apparently it's got a really decent performance as well. So I'm hearing lots of good stuff, but I haven't tried it yet. So yeah, Jeff, have you tried it, Digital Slang? I'd love to try one, and it's quite hard to get them as well. I think when it was launched, it was available, but I don't know, here in the UK, I'm gonna have another go. Suzanne, the OnePlus is amazing. I love it. Feels so good. Oh man, is that what you got now? Then is that your main phone? I'd love to try it. I'm gonna try it. The other one I want to try is the Honor Magic. Apparently that's really good. Yeah, I'm toying with the idea of getting like a battle of the foldables and getting all of them. I didn't get the Google Pixel Fold. Is that what they're called? I was excited for it, and then I don't know. There's something that I just don't like the idea of having that larger outer display, because, you know, I do like the Fold because it's narrower. But maybe I should keep an open mind and try the Fold as well. Yeah, so Jeff is saying the Digital Slang, yeah, it's my daily driver currently. Best device I've had this year. Wow, you sold your Z Fold 5 for that. Damn. Okay. Okay, well that does it, guys. I'm getting it. I'm gonna not right now, but next week I'll probably get busy with the ordering. AOZNS 100k approaching. Yeah, it's close. I think it's probably gonna be next year now, but yeah, excited for it. It's one of those milestones that every creator aims for, and I'm no different. I'm really excited for it. I can't wait. Not only because it's a nice milestone, but, you know, it does unlock a lot of things for the channel. You know, if you know the industry, or if you know this business, after 100k, you do get approached by other brands. You know, there's I don't know, as silly as it is, right? Because the content quality doesn't really change when you approach 100k. I would argue that, you know, if anything, I want to relax a little bit more when I get to that point. But no, I think it's just how it is, right? When you get to 100k, there's some sort of, okay, I can take you seriously now, even though I won't change how I do things. Josh is saying here, basically I'll be replacing my S22 Ultra with the S24 Ultra and my iPhone 14 Pro Max with the OnePlus Open. Ooh, that's a nice combo. Yeah, that S24 Ultra, I'm a little bit concerned. You know, that was one of the things I wanted to talk about it today, because I've been a bit disconnected from the rumors and leaks and whatever, but I'm hearing more and more that the S24 Ultra will have an Exynos chip, and I don't know in the chat if you know if that's true, if that's definitely confirmed. Let me know, because my experience with Exynos hasn't been great, and it's been amazing to see what the Snapdragon chip does on the S23 Ultra and on the Fold. So yeah, I'm slightly concerned. I can see Samsung doing something, you know, pulling out a kind of a rabbit out of a hat, right, with the Exynos and it being amazing. But I don't know. I had such a terrible experience with the S22 Ultra and the Exynos chip on it that I'm hoping that's not the case. Max Smith, you're a legend. Thank you so much for joining here. Wheelie, the S24 and S24 Plus will get both Exynos and Snapdragon, but Ultra is only Snapdragon. Okay, I can live with that because yeah, I always go for the Ultra. So, see, that would make sense. Although it's one of those cost-cutting things, right? That I don't know. I'm not sure I'm fully behind, but I can see from a business perspective that would make sense. But if they put the Exynos chip on the Ultra, I don't know. Alexander Hamilton, great reviews, love the channel. Thank you. Thanks for joining. Much more to come. Much more to come. Can I like stuff here? I don't know. Oh, sugar. I literally just broke. Am I still... still going? Okay. I think I broke the chat. But anyway. Let's close that maybe and reopen it. Yeah. I kind of killed the chat, but I can get it from here. I was trying to be too clever. Anyway. So Kyle B is saying the switching back to my S23 Ultra from the Pixel 8 Pro due to battery life. Yeah, I've been asked a lot about the battery life on the on the Pixel. My SOT on my screen on time for the Pixel hasn't been too mad. I don't do like 7-8 hours like a lot of people do, but I have heard that the battery isn't as good on the Pixel. I don't know. I'm quite okay with it at the moment, but I only do maybe 5 on a busy day, 5-6 hours. But I don't blame you for going back to the S23 Ultra though. That the battery on that is, it's almost 2 days, right? In some cases, it can last 2 days. It's crazy. Yeah, Roberto Priggs also saying the 8 Pro battery has been very poor on Wi-Fi. Yeah, I don't know. I've been impressed by a lot of things on the Pixel 8 Pro, by the way. I mean, I don't know if you guys haven't seen my review recently. It wasn't really a review. It was more of a comparison. But I was so impressed with the there's so many kind of difficult shots that you can take, right? Also like long exposure shots. I really love what they do. How easy that is on the Pixel. And there's a few other examples, right? There's obviously all the AI stuff that I don't know. I've been impressed with the audio. What do they call it? Magic. It's an audio eraser. That is just like, that's black magic to me. Because I bought these new microphones. It's like professional microphone for recording outside, because I don't want to always carry my big camera. So sometimes I just want to take a mobile phone and this tiny like wireless microphone that you can clip on your shirt. And they've been great for removing wind noise. The Pixel just built in right in software. As long as you got to keep the video, which is a problem for a lot of people. You got to keep the video within 3 minutes, I think. But yeah, if your video is within 3 minutes, you remove all these unwanted noises. And yeah, I've been really impressed. I thought it was going to be a gimmick and, not really work. But yeah, it does work. Vincent Gray, thank you so much for the super chat. I think S24 Ultra will come with Snapdragon Gen 3. I'm really hoping that's the case. It would be a shame for, after the S23 Ultra, which to me has been one of the best phones I've used in a long time, to follow that up with a bad, chip would be a shame. But you never know with Samsung sometimes. It's in recent years they had a really great, in my opinion, S21 Ultra, and then the S22 Ultra was a bit, it started off bad, and then after a few updates it got good. I don't know. The S23 Ultra from the off, it was always, for me anyway, it's always been a great phone. Hope everyone is staying hydrated with some water. Okay. Yes, drink some water. Yeah, so Jimmy Fire Dragon is also saying that we've got an article somewhere. So I have to look away sometimes because I deleted the chat from my window here. So apologies for that. But yeah, he's saying that there's an article somewhere saying that the S24 Ultra, let's see, the processor might be over and underclocked at the same time. Okay, not sure I get that, but yeah, explain. So is that to kind of combat any overheating issues? So I also heard a rumor that we would have a titanium casing for the S24 Ultra. That would be amazing as well, but I don't know. Yeah, I do find it funny that because Apple, I think that patent for the for titanium has been around for a few years now, and it's only now that's come out. But yeah, I don't know. I've had a few overheating issues, and it was funny because one of my tweets went a bit crazy and got picked up by unbox therapy, and he was saying that it was speculation. I was like, man, I've got a video showing that it was really hot, and it was in the first few days, to be fair, right? And it did happen again, but the error that I was getting on the iPhone is kind of gone away now. I don't really get that error anymore. It was happening when it was idle charging, and you would get like 104, 105 Fahrenheit, which is like nearly 40 degrees centigrade or Celsius. It was mental for me, about too hot. But yeah, but Apple, I don't know if they've actually fixed the issue or if it's now just suppressing the error message, right? But because to me, it still feels quite hot at times. So Seth then is asking, does someone experience shutter lag while taking photos on the 15 Pro Max? No, I tell you what, I do see on the 15 Pro Max, which is funny because like I said earlier, right, I haven't been using the iPhone for a long time this year. I think I was out of it for like 7 months, maybe, out of using the iPhone. So when I got back to using the 15 Pro Max, and because I've been using Android quite a bit, it was funny because I've used iPhone since the first one, right? So I shouldn't be surprised, but all the animations to me felt so labored and a bit slow. And it's not slow, it's just how it is. But it just felt to me that, it's not, those animations are so smooth, and iPhones are the best up animations for me. They look the best, but they just felt a bit labored. I think it's just the way they are. But typing is something I noticed that sometimes when you're typing, even the audio feedback that you get on the keyboard when you're typing a message or whatever on the iPhone is a little bit delayed for me at times. Maybe it's just smoothing things out. It's early days still, fair, to be fair. It's always been, has it been 2 months? Yeah, probably not 2 months yet, right? So too hot to handle, tech for your needs. Yeah, I mean, the phone, to be fair, is incredible, right? Especially for video stuff. I mean, I've been using it for quite a bit of ProRes recording and external recording on 4K, just normal 4K on the iPhone. Yeah, incredible stuff. I was expecting it to be good, but they definitely made a big jump, I think. I wonder what the S24 Ultra will do from a video perspective, because they can't really compete with ProRes, right? And there's no log. I was talking to someone about this. Not S-Log, but ProResing log has been an amazing feature to have on the iPhone for a lot of pros. And Samsung, I know with third-party apps you can do something similar, but yeah, that would be amazing to be able to do log video on the S24 Ultra. But that was, if I could choose one thing to have on the S24 Ultra, would be that, because that does make a big difference on the iPhone. But let me know, if you are looking at the S24 Ultra, what's the feature that you're most looking forward to? Because let's talk about Macs as well for a bit, because I haven't really paid a lot of attention. I watched the Scary Fast event, and it was funny because the day after, or a couple of days after, they've announced that they actually did a lot of the filming they did the entire filming for the event on the iPhone, and I was really impressed by that, and it was edited on the Mac, of course. But that was crazy. I haven't bought anything yet, but it was funny because literally yesterday I was about the video that I uploaded today. It's like a 25-minute long video. It was meant to come out yesterday, and the only reason it didn't was because my Mac and Final Cut Pro crapped out on me, and I couldn't really do it. But it was funny, like a Mac has just been released, and now for the first time in ages, I had a problem with my M1 Max MacBook Pro. So conspiracy theories here, right? It's like there must be a new Mac out. That's why it's crapping out. Hey Ben, how you doing? Lover of Tech in the chat, guys. If you haven't, again, another channel that is a must for all things tech. I think it's got a few channels now. But yeah, Lover of Tech in the house. He's saying Samsung need to fix the ability to switch between lenses whilst recording 4K 60. Pixel 7 Pro did it first. iPhone 15 Pro Max does it now. They need to do it. I agree. I mean, I know the 15 Pro Max, it does a weird sort of, when you do that, it does this parallax effect. I mean, it's quite interesting how he does it. but at least it lets you do it, and it's great. I do agree that's a really decent feature to do it. I wonder if you can use something like Filmic Pro or something to do that now. I'm not sure. But that's a good shout. Yeah, so it's quite limiting sometimes to have to stop the video, change lens, and then record again. Samsung can fix the 4K. So Willie is saying Samsung can fix 4K thing with a new Gen 3. Qualcomm said it's possible at the event. Yeah, isn't that weird? That to me feels like a software issue, really. Yeah, I wouldn't imagine it being limited to the chipset, but maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, so going back to Macs, let me know in the chat if you are buying a new Mac. If you saw the new Macs this week and thought, okay, that's time to upgrade. I personally didn't. I don't ever pounce at MacBooks anyway. It's one of those investments that cost a lot of money, right? Especially if you go for one of the kind of Pros or Max chipsets. But yeah, I think I'll probably look at it into early next year. Like when I got the M1 Max, I did buy December, January. So maybe I'll do the same for the M3. Good night, Seth. Thanks very much for coming in, and yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you so much. Yeah, it must be late if you're in France, right? It's midnight. M1 Pro all the way until the M5 Pro for me. Rick, I'm with you. I mean, these things are built to last, right? MacBooks they're not usually one of those yearly things that you upgrade. But I'm wondering if 2 years for me is even 2 years. I mean, my M1 Max, it's got 64 gig of RAM, which is what I use the most. For video editing when you're exporting. RAM is really what helps the processing. So yeah, it does everything I need to do within, like, exporting at 25 minutes was almost like incredible. Still, I'm still impressed by the M1 Max. So yeah, I'm going to struggle to justify a 4,000, 5,000 pound expense, or even more, right? If you go for the ridiculous amount of RAM. Ben is saying, lover of tech. I almost made the mistake selling my M1 Max 14 for the M3 Pro 14-inch. Yeah, see that? Yeah, I think you'd miss out on power there, right? Glad I didn't, because I need proper external display support up to 4 months. Yeah, see, I also argue that your M1 Max, yeah, it depends, right? It depends what you're doing. But I think for video processing, that M1 Max has so much cores in GPUs, and I'm not sure if just having an M3 but Pro would be faster. I mean, when you see the graphs that they show, right, that it's like 20% faster or whatever than the M1, it's like, is 20% faster justifiable for me? And at the moment it isn't. But if it starts crashing out, I mean, like my Intel Mac, it got to a point like in 2021, I think. It's like, okay, it's time for it to go. But I'm nowhere near that at the moment. My M1 Max is flying still. Yeah, but I was impressed that they filmed the entire thing. And it was a little bit, I mean, there's a bit of a divisive opinion on Twitter and social media saying that, yeah, anyone can get that result if you get everything else in a studio, right? Like all the lighting, all these rigs. They had like drone flying in, right, and the smoke effects and all that. And of course, all the set, right, that they're using, and beautifully lit up with professional lighting, and also people who know what they're doing, right? They were using the Blackmagic app on the iPhone, so everything was dialed in manually, right, for exposure, for frame rate and whatnot. Still though, it's an iPhone. They filmed an Apple event with the iPhone, and I don't know. I'm on the camp that is impressed by that fact, but I appreciate that there's probably, I don't know, $500,000 on gear that they used behind the iPhone, right, or around the iPhone. But let me know what you thought of that. Yeah, that was dope. Yeah, I think, I was really impressed. I think it's interesting because, it's quite brave for Apple to do that, but also shows that they you know, they're putting their money where their mouth is when it comes to the iPhone. But see, I am I am interested to test the games when they come out, the AAA games that they promised, right? Whatever they were, because if it's getting hot just charging idle, it's like, what is it gonna do when you actually play some proper games on it? But I want to plug it into an external monitor or whatever and see what happens. Should be interesting. I am enjoying the iPhone every time I pick it up, you know, especially when I'm taking photos or videos. Yeah, it's nice, but I am bored with iOS in general. I can't spell your name here because it's in, I don't know, probably Chinese or Japanese, but he's saying, hello, my last 5 Samsung devices had burn-in screen problems. Did you? Especially the time scroll. No, I don't have any. I mean, I've been using Samsung devices for a while now, and continuously every day. My main device is the S23 Ultra. No, I haven't got my S21 Ultra still going, and actually I've got it here actually. So every now and then I have to charge it up. I feel like a little bit sentimental about this one because it looks amazing for me. It's the brown, what do they call it? The Phantom Brown S21 Ultra. And every now and then I just pick it up, download a few things, update it. And it's amazing how fast it still feels. It doesn't feel laggy at all. Yeah. But yeah, the funny thing is that screen is still amazing. I think it's the same screen really. If you look at the specs, it's not that different to the S23 Ultra in terms of, you know, the resolution and whatever. But yeah, it's still going. No markings there. But I've heard some burn-in issues in other phones, not the Ultra series. Tech for your needs. That would be nice if you kept a schedule for live streaming twice a month at a certain day. Yeah. I'm gonna do more of this, definitely. Yeah, I think it's difficult to find like a regular slot, but I'm gonna do it because it makes a lot of sense, right? I love talking to you and just chatting about tech. Yeah, I can't do that on a video, on a normal video. You know, I've got to hit all the points on a script. I'll have to kind of deliver the message as quickly as possible, right, without chatting too much. Whereas in a stream, you know, even if you don't watch the whole stream, you can come back and chat, and I'll put some chapters as well later on. So yeah, no, I definitely need to do more streaming because I do enjoy it. I think it's good for, like I said at the beginning, right, to build a community around the channel, not just grow the channel. And because those numbers don't mean anything if the channel is just, you know, we don't interact and we don't kind of connect. So I like to do that, more of that. I like to do more stuff around, you know, different things for the channel as well. So stream is great, but I think, you know, there's a lot of different ways, like sharing behind the scenes stuff with, you know, not doing Patreon or anything like that, but just sharing more through newsletters, maybe even, you know, just some people might be interested, some people might not. Something that I am considering is, because I've been asked a lot about my video editing, and it's something like, you know, 3 years doing this, you kind of learn a few things and you pick up skills. You probably, you know, I start copying from other creators and then you kind of incorporate into your own style, which is probably, you know, the best way to do it. I don't think there's a right or wrong way of doing it, but a lot of people have been asking me about it, about, you know, how I'm using different things in there, and I might create like a little tutorial or some course or whatever. I think that might be good. Adenilson Barreto, this is a Brazilian name I recognize. Salute, man. Cheers from Brazil. Yes, that's my, yeah. For those of you who don't know, another reason why I'm quite busy at the moment is I've started a new channel in Portuguese, in Brazilian, and it's going great. It's already, I think, 45,000 subs on that channel in 3 months. Yeah, it's incredible how that grew. But it's a massive toll as well, because I didn't realize it's going to be so difficult. Because I thought I can just reuse the B-roll and just talk over, you know, in a new sort of sequence. But of course, it's a different market, it's a different culture, right? So it's not just as easy as translating the video. You have to kind of adapt the actual content. But so I've been able to keep up with like one video every 2 weeks for the moment for the Brazilian channel without impacting too much on my schedule. we'll see where that goes. But yeah, it's interesting. Lee Tronics is here. Hello, Lee. Yeah, I thought I'd do another off the cuff sort of stream. So thanks for joining. And for those of you who don't know, in today's video, Lee Tronics here in the chat actually was part of the video. He offered to help me with the call quality test. It's one of those things that on YouTube, it's not really, it's not something that we do a lot. I forget a lot of my reviews. I forget to test the call quality on phones. It's like it's a bloody phone, right? So how does it work when you make a phone call? So it's been yeah, it was very helpful, Lee, for you to do that, because I think it adds a bit more dynamic, right? To actually have someone else joining the video and talking to me like a normal chat. But I was really impressed in that test. I mean, you can watch the video later, but if you've seen it, there's a section there where I do this call quality test on the Pixel 8 Pro, comparing it with the S23 Ultra. But one thing that I was amazed by in the edit, I was like, oh my gosh, is the quality coming in, the incoming audio from Lee's phone, which is a Sony Xperia Mark V, the latest Sony Xperia. Damn, that sounded incredible. I'm almost just wanting to buy the phone now just because of how it sounded. So whatever microphone they're using there, whatever chipset they're using there, is just out of this world. Hey, got a few Brazilians in the chat. Hello. Olá, tudo bem? Jimmy Fire Dragon, do you think I should try the Pixel Flippy Boy if they release one in about 11-12 months? I don't know, because the thing for me with the Fold is that, you know, the thing that makes the difference with the Fold, I've got mine here, is the S Pen, you know. So I was excited for the Pixel Fold. I do like that they make the front display almost as usable as a normal phone. But I don't know. For me, I actually personally prefer the narrower profile of the Fold 5. I think that's one of the good things about it for me. But I know it's not for everyone. A lot of people complain the fact that it's too narrow. I actually like that. And the Fold 4, I didn't really use the outer display too much. But on the Fold 5, I find myself one-handed a lot of the time, using it one-handed. So if Google do another Fold and it, you know, it's still kind of just a tiny upgrade, I'm not sure. I don't know. I was excited for it, but I prefer the Pixel Pro, the Pixel 8 Pro, without it folding. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see where it goes. What the solution would be for them to come up with maybe a pen to make it more, you know, competitive, or maybe just removed. I mean, I don't know those bezels, right? I mean, I know it's a thing that a lot of tech people worry about. Most users don't care about, but those bezels on the Pixel Fold do look quite big for me. Hey, Clipe, another Brazilian here. Yay. Sounds like you really like the bigger screen on your Z Fold 5, Alex. Yeah, I do. I do like the main display, and I use it a lot. This time, like the Fold 4, I actually removed like a plonker. I removed this protector, and you can do. It didn't do. I mean, it was fine. I sold it almost like in pristine condition. There was a tiny micro scratch on this part on the outside. See if I show you here. Not with my face, it won't come out. If I do this, maybe. Yeah. So that silver part on the Fold 4 was really scratched up a little bit. But on the Fold 5, I kept it, and it actually feels okay with that protector. So it doesn't feel like, it's not glass, right? So it's a plastic material, but it does feel actually quite comfortable to use, quite to touch, and to write on it as well. I mean, the S Pen on it is awesome. Yeah. Claire Make, I always had an issue with the bezels on the Pixel Fold. Yeah, it was very off-putting for me. Yeah, it's one of those things I can see a lot of people not caring about it at all and just getting on with it. But for me, it was a little bit on the thick side. For something that was launched in 2023, I thought it could be better. But I also see the point of, I think there was some sort of palm rejection or touch rejection on those edges that make it more ergonomic to hold. So I see that side as well. Space Mickey, do you think the Pixel 8 Pro is a worthy upgrade for an iPhone 14 Pro Max when the S24 Ultra will come out? Yeah, I would wait, definitely. What are we? Almost 2 months away, right? Under 2 months, pretty much, for the S24 Ultra. Yeah, I would say keep the 14 Pro Max for now. I mean, it's nothing terribly wrong with it, right? I mean, most issues I had with it, like I said earlier, was iOS 16. Assuming that your 14 Pro Max is not terrible right now, I'd say, yeah, hold on to it. And then in January, look around. But there's nothing too bad either with this bad boy. I mean, the Pixel 8 Pro, I've been really impressed. I mean, it's a little bit, feels a bit lighter. I don't know if it's actually lighter, but it's a little bit more slippery than the 7 Pro that I had, mainly because they changed it's not glossy, the back. But yeah, I'd say maybe if the S24 Ultra comes out and it's got that Exynos chip, you never know, right? Maybe the Tensor G3 will be better for you. We'll see. Laverne Clark, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. Oh, that's really nice of you. Thank you. You're saying I wish the Fold 5 had outer screen pen support. Yeah. I have found myself sometimes trying to write on it. It would be nice to be able to do like a quick note sometimes, just to remove the pen from the, I've got this case that has the pen in it. It would be nice to just do that, right? To say, kind of double tap like you do on the S23 Ultra and do a quick note. But yeah, it would be nice if they added that. But I do think just include the S Pen inside the phone now, right? We've had a few iterations of this now. It's going to be 4th or 5th now, right? So just inserted that. I would quite happily compromise on how thick it is to have the pen in there, because it kind of limits you. If for me, I do use the pen a lot, and if I don't use this case that has the pen in it, then I'm never gonna buy an S Pen separately, because I'm gonna lose it like within a day. And that happens with my iPad all the time, right? Even with the S23 Ultra, sometimes I'm using it and then I forget to put it back in. It's bad enough, including it in there. So, Ernest spotted that G spot. Yeah, you've watched my video, huh? Yeah, sometimes I leave them. I mean, I call them brain farts. Sometimes I leave them for entertaining purposes. Yeah, I hope you appreciate that. I think I said that the G spot on the Pixel 8 Pro is the only bit that's not slippery. So read into that, if you will. Testing out my new XM5 buds, and here you are. There you go. Let me know how you're finding them. I haven't tried new earbuds for a long time. I mean, I don't get on with any of them. They all fall out for me. My ears are not very ergonomic for those things. But even the Apple AirPods Pro, they don't stay on for a long time. If I'm at a desk just listening to music without moving, they're fine. But if I go for a run, or if I just try to go, even just walking, I nearly lost one on the train once, just dropping them. Yes, G spot was not slippery. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Adam is saying, shall I wait for the S24 Ultra or buy the Z Fold 5 now? Thing is, they're so different, and it's almost like, if you've got 2 children, which one do you want to keep? It's so hard. I would say the S24 Ultra will probably give you more in terms of cameras, but if you don't have, if you don't worry about the cameras, then I'd say you can do more. You can do more with the Fold, and watching content on it, just playing games and doing entertaining stuff on the Fold is amazing. Michael Pepper Tech, hello, thanks for joining here as well. The one thing that I wish other Folds had is a desktop mode. Yes, thank you. That's a great shout. Yeah, Samsung Dex is one of those things, right? If you there's some people that actually comment in my videos, they actually say they use that every day. I don't use it every day, but when I do use it, it's a lifesaver, right? So I do, in my 9-to-5 job, I do connect with lots of Windows related, like Microsoft apps,
and sometimes I don't want to connect to, install that on my Mac. So having DeX, sometimes even on my tab, my S8 Ultra or the S9 Ultra, yeah, that's what I do. But yeah, DeX is another underrated feature, not something you buy the phone for. A lot of people will never even know that it's there. But it's so nice when you plug into a monitor and you recognize this already, and your whole environment becomes a desktop. Until you used it, until you saw the need for it, you don't appreciate it. But when you use it, it's fantastic. Yeah, Tony is saying if I can figure out DeX for remote work, I'd use it more. Yeah, it's what I use it for. It's such a powerful, because you can have Microsoft, in the entire Microsoft Office suite on that, right? Just in the cloud, and that, of course, you can do that on any device. But it's just nice to be able to plug it into a monitor. Yeah, and if you want to keep things separate, like from a Mac, and I like to keep my Mac for my kind of creative work. So it's nice to have the DeX where it's almost like a light touch desktop, right? You don't need to have a full-on Windows machine. I watched your video comparing the Pixel 8 Pro. So this is Claimic saying, I'm probably saying this wrong, Claimic. I watched your video comparing the Pixel 8 Pro, the S23 Ultra, and the 15 Pro Max. I agree that the pictures on the S23 can be grainy. Yeah. So I had an issue actually it was particularly with Netflix. But yeah, with the 200 megapixel, I've seen issues in dark areas, and there's some graining there. And also in, I think it was slow-mo video, the iPhone to me was less grainy when doing just standard slow-mo video. It's not something that you do a lot, but if you're in low light, like, I don't know, 5 p.m. here in the UK, or actually 4 p.m. now, but if you do something, video at that time in slow-mo, you see a lot of grain on the S23 Ultra. But yeah, the issue I had on Netflix was very unusual. I mean, I was just getting SD quality on the S23 Ultra. And in my review, I didn't realize that was the problem. In my initial review comparison between the iPhone 15 Pro Max and the S23 Ultra, I just thought the iPhone is better here. But I did point out that there was a grading thing that was very visible. But then in my latest review, where I noticed that again, I did a bit more digging and realized that actually the app had a bug. But removing the app and reinstalling it fixed it. So there's the same version of the app, but it just wasn't showing full HD on Netflix. Got a question here from Notorious. In terms of Samsung Fold, do you think we will see a wider screen for? Yeah. See, I've one of the things that Samsung might do, right, is just to do another foldable phone that has a wider display and keep the Fold as it is. I would prefer that, and it's probably not unimaginable to see Samsung do that. I do think if they make it a little bit wider, I wouldn't mind it either. But if they make it as wide as the S23 Ultra or as wide as the Pixel Fold, for example, I wouldn't. It's not something that I'd appreciate, because I do like the fact that it is narrower. But yeah. I'm hoping if they do it, that they do it in a new model entirely, or maybe not too much. Yeah, and the S Pen coming in with the phone. Yeah, it would be nice to have that integrated pen. I agree. Robert, thank you so much for the super chat. Oh, man, it's incredible. I mean, you guys are amazing. Keep up the great work. Your channel is definitely one of the best. See, that's why I like to connect with you, because I read all your comments. I can't, it got to a point that I never thought I would, which is a point where I can't respond to every single comment. But trust me, I read all of them, and they make my day. Every day there's a comment in there. Of course, there's some people who will criticize and whatever. I've got thick skin. I don't mind that at all. But the majority of you are so kind. The comments I read, they do brighten my day. It's amazing, and it's and if you watch other creators, do leave a comment on their channel, because it does. Even if it's just to say, like a short sentence or whatever, it does matter. So yeah, no, I appreciate that. Thank you. I think the Open has the screen size that I would be comfortable with. Yeah, so I don't know. That's on the wider size for me, but I do like the fact that when you open it, that display looks fantastic. And a few people mentioned here in the chat that, yeah, it's actually quite a decent phone to use as well. What software does he run? Is it like a Harmony OS or whatever? What's the OS that they run? And actually, yeah, if you used the Fold and you're now using the Open, what's the main difference on the software? Let me know. Michael saying, would you go for a Z Fold 5, a Z Fold that is basically a bigger Z Flip? No. Having cameras on the same part as the cover screen. See, I like the fact that, yeah, having the cameras on the same part as the cover screen. Like, I think the Motorola did something like that, right? They had decent cameras at the front. Yeah, I don't know. I've tried the Flip. I mean, I didn't buy it, but another creator lent me his Flip 5, and I just didn't get on with. Well, the camera just wasn't good enough. I think they're still cutting a lot of corners there. So I don't know. I like everything about the Fold. I wouldn't change it too much, to be honest with you. But I think some people did say if they folded the other way, I think that's probably what you're saying, Michael. If he folded kind of, horizontally, I don't know. I quite like it how it is, to be honest. Is Oxygen OS okay? Yeah. Huawei use the Harmony OS, and that's Hyper OS as well, right? Another one. Quite a few H. Would you prefer a thicker Fold if the batteries were easier to change or swappable? Good question. See, the batteries are okay for me as well. That they're, considering you've got 3 displays on this thing, it's actually not too bad. And it charges bloody fast as well. Samsung, their fast charging is really good. I'm okay with that. Yeah, I mean, having more battery would definitely take into it, especially when you're busy. So there's been a couple of occasions where on a commute, where I'm using the Fold for like 2 hours on the train there and back, and then throughout the day, yeah, you won't make it until 10, 11 p.m. without a top up. So I'd prefer, instead of the bigger battery, I'd prefer an S Pen integrated, and then if you're making it thicker anyway, maybe make a bigger battery. Yeah, that'd probably be the best of both worlds, right? To make it a little bit thicker, have the pen in there, and also have a bigger battery. Michael, I was thinking if the cameras and outer screen were on the same part, it would require one less camera and same cameras used to open and close. Okay, yeah, totally. I don't see any use for that camera on the front, to be honest with you. So that would be good, actually. Yeah, but I think Samsung will probably, before they change too much of the device, they probably just create another model completely, right? They're very famous for doing that. Hey Marco, thank us for joining. Thank you. Did you see Lewis Hamilton's Senna tribute leather jacket? No, I haven't. I know it's at the Brazilian Grand Prix, and I haven't watched anything. I mean, I was so busy with the video yesterday that today I just did stuff with the family, and came here in the studio and literally just tidied up a little bit because it was like a bomb has gone off here. It was such a mess. I did 2 videos this week, and they were, one of them was like 25 minutes long. So it does take a lot of moving stuff around and making a mess. So I haven't watched anything. I saw the qualifying highlights. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that. Lewis Hamilton is very popular in Brazil because of his love for Senna. Jimmy Fire Dragon is saying, Mr. Who's the Boss did a video earlier today about Huawei and their banned products. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna guess that is because of the Chinese rumors. I think it was when Trump was still in power, right? We had those rumors that Huawei had some spy software on their gear. who knows? That would be my guess, but I might watch that video later. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of those videos, but that one sounds interesting. Huawei did a couple of years ago, when they were talking about Harmony OS, they did say that it was, their vision for it was almost like to completely revolutionize and make a third option, right? Instead of Android app, iOS, just make something completely different. But they were very focused on getting the car software connected to the home stuff, to the fridge and a toaster, so whatever. Sounded incredible. I mean, what the vision was. Whether I haven't seen much of it, to be honest. I think it's still Android based, right? Yeah, Porsche Oscar sent us 30-year anniversary. Yeah, it's so sad how it happened. It was kind of, he was almost in past his prime, and when it happened, he wasn't really doing well. But he was still a young chap, right? Should I change to S23 from the Z Fold 5? Yeah, you gotta watch. I did a video on exactly that. I would find, if someone said pick one, I would find it really difficult. It's almost like, what's your favorite child, right? It's so hard to answer. But I think right now I would probably pick the S23 Ultra because of the cameras. I do use them. Going into expert RAW, and that camera is just incredible. Not saying the Fold isn't, but it's a luxury, right, to be able to not choose. But if I was to pick one right now, I would still pick the S23 Ultra. Also the price, right? The Fold 5 is still quite an expensive phone. I think you probably save some money by getting the S23 Ultra. But in a couple of months, I'd say, because is a sad reality, right? Samsung phones don't really hold value. It's so bad. I mean, I sold my Fold 4, almost brand new, for $700, having paid $1,700, 11 months before. It's just like almost a third, right? It's doesn't hold value at all. I mean, iPhones lose value too, but not that badly, I don't think. Deluxe, I'm just curious, do you think Samsung should continue with the FE series, or they just need to scrap it? I'm beginning to think they only make them to use leftover chips. No, I think there's a space for it, right? I mean, they're very popular phones in some markets, but I think that's probably what they're targeting. They're targeting kind of a budget sort of area. So I think there's a space for it. It's not the sort of phone that a lot of people go for because of the cut down versions of everything. But it's a clever way of reusing leftover stuff if it is what they're doing, right? Oh, Tonio, yeah, that's a great point on the trade-in. Samsung, they're not as good as they used to be, but they're still pretty decent, especially in America. In the UK, they're getting a little bit like Apple. The trading values are horrendous, but I know the deals you get in America are fantastic, and other markets too. Rick says, I'm still waiting for One UI in the US. Yeah, that's one problem with Samsung as well, right? The updates don't come out at the same time for everybody. It's just weird. I still don't have it here in the UK either. I don't think, anyway. It's too close to the A54s, though. Yeah, they are very, very similar. But I think it's a marketing thing, right? To say that you have an S23 FE sounds probably better, more upmarket than saying you have an A54. I'm just guessing that, it could be just a strategy of saying you're getting a bit more than the A54 by calling it FE. I'm hoping for $1,000 towards the S24. Steve saying, yeah. On what phone? On the S23 Ultra? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what phone you're trading in. Yeah, but I think I always go for the lower storage as well on these phones. I find it annoying that Samsung are getting a bit clever as well with that. They're saying we give you 512 for the price of the 256 at launch, but sometimes you might not want that. Sometimes you just give me a discount for the 256. Question here: do you have any idea to why Samsung's phone lose that much value? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, because durability wise, they're not getting bashed, right? Especially my Z Fold 4. Yeah, I would expect to lose value, but not by that much. I mean, I lost $1,000. It was like crazy. Yeah. So Notorious saying, I have a A54 and Fold 4, and I feel it's the perfect backup phone for when I'm traveling. Yeah, I think that's a good approach. Now, if I don't take my Fold outside. You know, it's good to have a backup phone. iPhone holds value, but US Samsung have aggressive trading programs. Yeah, that's the thing. In the US, you guys, I don't know if you are in the US, but my US community out there, yeah, you guys get so good deals, you know, when you're buying tech in general. I mean, to be fair, on Apple, this year hasn't been too bad on the iPhone. We got almost, you know, just changed the currency sign and it was fine. But we've been shafted for the last few years on whatever exchange rate or whatever it is that, you know, we just paid more just by being here. And I know other markets like India, even Brazil. I mean, Brazil prices are ridiculous. You would think it would be the other way around, right? It'd be cheaper there. Wheelie saying, in my experience, used Samsung phones are really expensive, just like used iPhones. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, no, my experience here in the UK was I couldn't get more than 700 for my Fold 4, and that was terrible. But my iPhone, for example, my iPhone 14 sold for 800. So, you know, almost a year later. So I think the iPhones do hold a bit more value. Oh, Mark, that's good to know. So, yeah, I haven't looked at One UI 6, but I think I'm going to do a video about One UI 6 because there's quite a few new things. Yeah, I'm going to install that this weekend. Yeah, so I don't know. There's quite a few things that I want to do. I really want to try that new Open, and there's obviously the Sony Xperia that I want to try as well. It's almost one of those vanity projects that I want to do. It's not going to get a lot of attention because these things are very niche, but I'm just interested in them. So yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know, because I think to wait for the iPhone 16, right? It's not really going to be I don't know. Are you guys interested in the what's it called, the Vision Pro stuff? I mean, I'm excited for the tech, but I'm not sure I'm gonna get the first one. And I wonder if that's the reason Apple is almost not doing much on the iPhone in recent years. Because yeah, there's so much power out with the A17 Pro chip and all of that, but the software just seems to be nowhere near the competition. Yeah. So Lee's evidently not gonna get the Vision Pro. You look good in it. Yeah, it'd be nice to kind of watch a massive telly. You know, I've tried a VR pair of glasses that look like a pair of Ray-Bans, and I think Ray-Bans and Meta stuff are doing something similar, right? I think when it gets to that size and that comfort, I think it'll be great. But to the way they're marketing that, said that actually it'll be normal to have the massive goggle on your face. I don't know. It'll be a while. Hey Grant, good to see you here, man. Good to see you here. Not buying the first one either. Yeah. Plus, I think it's only going to be available in the US first, right? So even if we wanted to get it here, it would be tricky to. You have to import it, I think. Tom Tingley, aka Tom Tech Nerd. Hi Alex, can I just mention that I like the style you make your videos. It's fun to watch every time. Go on like this. Thank you so much. Yeah, 100K soon. Yes, I think it'll be early next year, probably January, February, if I keep up with the space. which is hard, right? It's hard work. But no, I appreciate the support, and yeah, I enjoy making these videos too. I mean, when you don't do content creation as a main job, it's almost like an escape. It feels like almost like a hobby. It's not. It's a business too, but it feels nice to create content. I'm sure that changes if you only do that. It becomes if it becomes your job, it could change. But I can think of worse jobs to do than creating content. I think this is nice. So no, I appreciate that. I'm glad it's working. Sometimes it's a cliche thing to say, right? That you got to be yourself in these videos, and you just kind of So when I talk to the camera by myself most of the time, I always imagine that I'm talking to a friend, and it's difficult. 3 years on, and I'm just about getting comfortable doing that. I still feel bloody awkward every time. By the way, I just sold my Fold 4 because my first one broke a few weeks ago. I just bought the S23 Ultra. Happy again. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear about the Fold 4. I have heard a few people, having durability issues on the inner display. I'm not sure if that's what broke on yours, but yeah. Grant is saying that I love making videos also. It just feels, good, but crazy at the same time. Yeah, crazy is the word. Especially when, so this week, to give you a bit of a background into what happened. Yeah, I had, a decent plan for the week. Usually I write on Mondays and Tuesdays, in between meetings and whatever. And then Wednesday, typically I record during, find a lunch hour or whatever to record the main bit of the A-roll, the talking head bit. And then between that time and Friday is when I edit and add B-roll shots and stuff. So yeah, this week I had, got to Tuesday. It was like I had a video already recorded, and all I needed was the B-roll and some comparisons and stuff. I got everything recorded, and then went home. And so I'll just edit at home, have dinner with the family, and then edit later from home. And I forgot the SSDs with all the footage here in the studio. It's like, oh. So I lost an evening basically, and things just piled up, because then the next day you kind of trying to compensate for the time you lost, and just ended up being a massive issue. Then I had sponsor issues as well, where the video hadn't been approved on time. Not all videos have to do that, but some videos you have to, especially if it's a regulated industry, you have to kind of make sure that they fact check the data that you're sharing. They don't have say in the content, but some regulated industries will require you to make sure that you're not saying anything wrong. But yeah, it's just one thing added to another. In the end, it's just I got to a point where I almost give up. And then yesterday, the Mac crapped out on me. It's like I was exporting at lunchtime. The video is going to go up at 1 p.m. in the UK, which is about 9 a.m. in the US in New York. And yeah, it was all happening, and then crashed twice. And I was like, okay, this is not happening. And then I went for lunch. I took my son for lunch and let it kind of exporting again, and he exported. I was like, oh my god, it for no reason. Literally, I didn't even reboot it. It was just literally just try it again, brute force retrial, and it kind of worked. Anyway, the video was out today anyway, so it's all good. Question here from Marco: do you use an iPhone as a daily driver? No, not anymore. I used up until the 13 Pro Max. That was my main phone for a while. I think it was when the S21 Ultra came out. I was maybe for 9 months using the S21 Ultra as my main device, but I still had an iPhone as a backup. And then the 14, I gave the 14 Pro Max a good go, maybe 3 months, but didn't get on with it. In terms of software was just buggy for me and not great. I was having such a better time with the S23 Ultra that I just changed then. And then since then, the iPhone, I have a SIM card on the iPhone, but it's not a number that I even give to people. It's mostly collecting dust. If I look at it today, it's got 84% battery from this morning. It's doing bugger all at the moment. It's a shame, right? Because it's an amazing phone, but I've got all my authenticators, my banking apps on my Samsung at the moment. So, and I'm trying the Pixel too. So it's kind of difficult to pick up the iPhone at the moment. I'm sure I'll get back to it and use it a bit more. But right now it's not my daily driver at all. Porsche Oscar, do you have to convert all video files into Mac compatible format to edit your videos on the Mac? No. I record it. So I use the Sony camera, which is the one I'm using right now, and that records in S-Log footage, which is very friendly footage on the Mac. So Final Cut Pro, which is what I use to edit, just reads it. It's very, very, very smooth on the M1 MaxMacBook Pro. So now that used to be a problem when I was using Premiere Pro, and whenever Mac did an update, I had issues with the type of footage. But now, yeah, it's very friendly. And sometimes I record it in ProRes as well, which makes it even better, but much larger files. But it depends what I use. But most of the time when I'm using this angle is S-Log footage from Sony. Anderson Pereira. Hi, Alex. I'm from Brazil. Hey. Great work. I bought the Fold 5 a few weeks after watching your review in Portuguese. Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad it helped. I can't even imagine what those things cost. I'm not sure if you are in Brazil. maybe you're not. Maybe you're also here in the UK or in the US. Yeah, but I did that video in Portuguese, and I realized later that it's probably not a good market for the Fold, because I looked at the price and it's like you can buy a car, right, with that. And the same for the iPhone Pro Max as well, right? They're so expensive in Brazil. But no, I'm glad my video helped. I'm very biased. I do love the Fold. I never thought I would as well. I bought it the Fold 4 originally because I was curious about the format. I didn't really expect I was going to like it this much. Bully Charlie saying, I'm not sure which one to choose between the Pixel 8 Pro and the upcoming S24 Ultra. Yeah, I would say, because it's only a couple of months, right? It depends what you've got right now as well, but I would say if you can wait, it's probably wiser to wait. Also, price on Android phones, right? They're probably a couple of months. You'll find a decent deal as well after Christmas. Yeah, no, I think I've been impressed with the Pixel 8 Pro, to be honest. I would strongly recommend it to anyone. But when you're comparing with something like the S24 Ultra, yeah, it's tricky because I don't know. If Samsung delivers like they did on the S23 Ultra, then I think it's going to be hard to beat that again. Yeah, if you especially like you're saying here, I'm more the Samsung guy. If you like Samsung already, then I'd say waiting is nice. I mean, don't get me wrong. The stuff that the Pixel does is incredible. And there's things that, for example, taking some difficult shots, right? Technically difficult shots you can do on the S23 Ultra, but the Pixel just makes it like, it's almost foolproof. There's a button that does live long exposure shots. There's a button that does pan, I think they call it pan action or action pan, which makes things look really like, really like action shots. Awesome stuff in a click. You can do that on the S23 Ultra and on the iPhone as well, but you have to change things to manual. Yeah, it's a little bit more difficult to do on any other phone. The Pixel just makes those things a lot easier. Anything interesting, channel? Best deals last year were Black Friday. Yeah, that's not far, right? That's a couple of weeks away, maybe 3 weeks. Yeah, I should be looking out for that because I want to get like that, either the Honor Magic or the Open or both. I'd like to get both and then do like a foldable comparison. That would be amazing. I'm not going to say this right, but I'm going to try it. Like Sony, what is one tip that you would give to people who would like to get into cinematography, video format, camera, lighting? Yeah, it depends what type of. I mean, if you're just doing like product shots and stuff like that, like I do in these videos, there's so many good cameras right now, right? If you're doing vlogging, for example, a camera that I would strongly recommend is the new DJI Pocket. But if you're not vlogging, if you're doing videos like this and you're doing videos that are more maybe reviews and things like that, it's hard to beat the Sony cameras. I mean, Canon do some amazing stuff, and obviously there's Fuji, but I'd say Sony right now. I mean, the ZV E1 or E10, the latest ZV basically, which has got full, it's got a, you know, the same sensor basically as an FX3, or some crazy like full frame sensor. That is going to be a decent buy because, you know, again, you can upgrade in buy the body and then upgrade the lenses as you go. That's one tip. The other tip is get one lens to start with that is not going to break the bank. If you're on a budget, you know, the one I got initially was a Tamron lens, which is actually on. Let me change the camera. It's actually that lens there. That's on my ZV-E1, which is a crop sensor actually. But yeah, this lens is great. That is a 28 to 75 mil, and the reason I recommend that is because, you know, with a 28 mil you can do a shot like this, well, a bit more cropped in maybe. But with a 75 mil, you can do B-roll. So in one lens, you can do two types of shots. I think that would be a big tip to. Yeah, and if you're buying Sony cameras, that Tamron lens, I think it's a Japanese lens. Yeah, it's fantastic. Awesome, you know, what it does to the background, very sharp lens. And the best thing for product shots, you can get really close. Like you can almost hold the phone like this and hold the camera there, right? So which is just sort of videos that you see a lot of reviewers do. This lens, it's a bit, you know, it's a bit away. It's a 24 mil lens. It's a better lens, but you can't get as close to the product. So you have to kind of always be at a certain distance for the focus to work. So yeah, that would be those two tips. From lighting perspective, lighting is such a big part, right, of doing these videos. There's a lot of light here, but yeah, it's tricky. So when you start, there's those LED panels. They're better than nothing. And if your space is small, when I started, I had a tiny spare room at home, and I bought the newer LED panels, and I had two, and they were actually pretty decent. You can put softbox on them, but make sure that they've got a softbox on them, because otherwise it just gets really harsh shadows. But then, you know, as you upgrade Godox, it would be a decent next level. Which is actually, I've got one behind me here. You can't see. I've got this. Maybe if I do this, no, I'm gonna break things. Yeah, but there's a Godox there, which is a VL 150, awesome buy as well. And when you get, you know, when you feel that you want to make an investment and you really want to buy like a professional light, then Aputure, which is what I've got here, I've got a grid on it, and it's yeah, that's a more expensive one, but I'd say there's levels to it. You kind of go upgrade as you go. I mean, the way I approach these things, I mean, I sweat the asset, right? My initial camera, I think I paid $1,500 for it, and I used it until the point I said, okay, now I know enough about the camera. I learned everything about it, and I feel like I need an upgrade. That's when I bought the Sony, and I'm getting to that point now where I need an upgrade camera, but I don't feel like, yeah, is a must right now. I hope I answered that question. It's a very long. Hey, Alex Howitt, the effing best channel. Oh man, you're too kind. From Germany. Thank you so much. Very kind of you. Yeah, this community is. I need to do more live streams because, you know, I love just chilling, and chatting, and talking about it. What I do need is a drink, and I don't have one. But never mind. Leetronics Sony 1V has the full vlogging kit with the camera and monitor integration plus film cinema. Yeah, I agree. The Xperia phone, you know, if you're into vlogging, there's so much you can do with like Sony phone, and yeah. But I would say definitely look at the DJI Pocket. It just came out. It's taking the creative space by storm. There's a lot of people talking about it because it's got like a 1-inch sensor, great stabilization, and it's tiny, which is, you know, if you're doing vlogging in public and stuff, you don't want something massive, right? And to have something that is inconspicuous and kind of quite small to use is going to be a bonus. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you so much. You're so kind, and thank you, Notorious, for coming. You guys have been great. Thanks for joining, and thanks for the interaction here in the chat. Kept me busy, and I'm sorry I'm having to look away as well. I promise for the next one, I'll have a proper stream set up where maybe put some overlays and some effects in here. I don't know. Is there music playing? Can someone tell me? Can you hear the music? I don't know if I turned it down or not. Let me turn it up. And if you want me to turn it off, I'll just turn it off as well. Yeah. Zamir Ahmed, loved your videos today, and I'm subscribed and like the video. You deserve it. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm glad. I mean, that video was a killer to produce, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you. See you later, Alex from Northern Light. Cheers, Jimmy. Thank you so much. Yeah, enjoy the rest of the weekend. Thank you, guys. Antonio as well. Thank you, guys. It's been amazing. I never regret doing these things. I'm gonna close the stream as well. Yeah, we'll definitely do another one very, very soon. Hope you have a nice rest of the weekend. And yeah, thank you so much for joining. It's been nice having this nice and chilled chat here. And thanks, Tom, for confirming there was no music. I'll fix that for the next one. Take it easy, guys. Thank you.